Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I've just got an unboxing for you on a bike storage stand. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at it. So here we have the stands that comes in the box. This is a LifeLine floor to ceiling 2 bike stand. So we'll crack this box open and see what you get. So open the box up. As you can see, got the instructions there. Some bolts, Allen keys there. A couple of the 2 stands, the hooks to put your bike onto. So you've got 2 of those. There's the actual pole itself. So we get all this unpackaged and we see what it's like to assemble it. So here we have the 2 cradles themselves. Now when you turn these over, on the back here they're adjustable left and right, so it depends what bike you're going to mount onto these to hang on it, to what size top tube you've got, etc. You can adjust these left and right on both sides to accommodate your particular bike, which is useful. So that's the 2 cradles, they're both the same. And then I'll just show you the pole as well. So the pole is obviously extendable. It extends between 192 centimeters minimum to 340 centimeters maximum extension. And what you've got is a quick release here. So you undo that quick release like you would, and then that pole slides out from in there. So that slides up to touch on your ceiling or wherever you're putting the top one to. And then here you've got the top mount for a bike, so you undo that, and then the hanger will go on here, but this, you can adjust that, it slides up and down the pole, and you can retighten it like that as well to tighten it up. So that comes out of there and slides up with the quick release out of this pole. This diameter is slightly smaller than this one. So you've got the other one down here, so you can undo that the same. If you undo that, this one slides up and down the pole for the bike closest to the floor on this pole, on this piece here. So that slides like that. So that'll be the lower bike, be on this one. And then at the bottom of the pole here you've got this piece here which you can do up or undo, and then that winds that foot out on a thread. So when you want to wind it out to tighten it up against whatever the ceiling against to the floor, so you just tighten that up and then that adjusts that down to the floor. So you just put it up as close as you can get it to your ceiling, start with, and then just wind that out, and then it will tighten it up fully between the floor and the ceiling on the lower piece there. So what we'll do is we'll get the cradles put on there and we'll try it. So we've got the pole there against the floor, and then all we've done is gone up to the quick release up on here, the handle, and then just opened that up and then wedged it against the ceiling like that, against the beam there, just to demonstrate it. So wedged it against there, and then obviously put a spirit level against the pole just to make sure it's upright. And then with your cradles for the bike, they just go on there like that. So if you put that on there, and then you can move it left and right, because your top tube on your bike is obviously angled, so you can adjust it like that for the top tube on your particular bike, for the angle, to get it right so the bike's sitting level when it's on here. So we get those, we get that fixed on. That'll be the same with the top one. So we've got the top one on as well. All I've done is just left the top bolt just slightly undone, and then nipped up that lower one, so if you hold on to your hand you can just move it left and right like that. That means when you try a bike on there, you can rest it on there and then get it in the right place, and then just nip up the top bolt and then lift the bike off the frame, off the stand here. If you can't get to that bolt there, then you can nip up the lower one. If the bike is in the way, say, you can nip up that one afterwards. But if you nip that one up tight enough there, just so so it'll move just about like that. And the lower one the same. So if you get them on there, now what we'll do is it's against the ceiling, and then with this lower ring there, you can move it up and down. It's written on there, up and down. So you just wind that up, and then that'll wind it tight against the ceiling, for instance, and then tight into the floor, so as it won't fall over with the weight of the bikes on the actual cradles. So just wind that up before you hang your bike on there, just so it's dead secure then. So we've wound that foot so as it's going down into the floor. Now that is proper secure now. Pull on that and it's not moving anywhere. So there we have the bikes mounted on there. So what we've done is just hooked them on, so you can adjust these. You can actually get to these the hex heads no problem, even with the bike on there. So if you just snip them up, sit the bike on there, then just get it level, so the bike's sitting level with the floor, etc. Then you can just nip these up afterwards, not a problem at all. Make sure you've done your clamp up at the back when you set the height that you want it off the ground. And the same applies to the top one. Do the same thing with that. Make sure you've got quick release done up properly. I say when you clamp that, wind that up to the floor down there, it clamps it so well against the ceiling that it's not going anywhere on that pole at all. And with these, if you notice down there, there is actually a couple of holes, top and bottom. So there's one here, one that side, and the same applies to the top pad as well in there. So what you could do is you could drill that through, you can bolt that down, you could actually bolt that into the floor, and at the top you could screw it into a beam as well, some big screws. And then what you could do is put a lock or a chain, whatever, around there if you wanted to. Clamp your bike to it as well, around the tubes and everything, so it secures it on there as well. But that's how it looks. Like I say, it's very secure. It's also very neat as well. Keeps your bikes up out of the way. Takes up a lot less room as well with them up on the stand, as it would opposed to just having them on the floor side by side, or one against or in line. They take up a lot of space. So if you found the video helpful, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.